To prove you were not a scrawny lip-syncer, you sang Dusk on stage, stunning 8 billion haters, and leaving your ex-girlfriend deep in thought. You had once been a brilliantly gifted music superstar, but after eating braised chicken rice every day, you died of exhaustion. When you opened your eyes again, you had transmigrated into the body of a migrant construction worker. After absorbing his memories, you learned the body's original owner was named Feng. He had once been a top-tier singer too, but 5 years ago, to keep his girlfriend from drinking, he drank poison liquor and ruined his voice. His career spiraled into the gutter. The company decided you no longer had any value to offer and immediately terminated your contract. Your girlfriend, Jiangcheng, left you without mercy. She even slandered you as a scrawny lip-syncer. Before long, you were infamous online. You ultimately wound up hauling bricks on construction sites to survive. You looked around at the dust-filled construction site, and your mood hit rock bottom. Is this even a place for people to live? You checked your wallet. You had only 8 yuan to your name. You could not even afford braised chicken. What a disastrous start. First, you had to make some money. Just then, the site was holding a workers' singing contest. The first place prize was 800 yuan. At once, your face broke into a delighted grin. You were a music superstar. After all, winning this tiny contest would be effortless. So you signed up without hesitation. Not long after, the contest officially began. Many workers gathered below the stage. Contestants took the stage one after another. These workers were terrible singers. Some contestants could not even pronounce the words properly. They had the crowd roaring with laughter. After listening, you frowned slightly. You were actually competing alongside them. It made you feel a little embarrassed, but you had no choice right now. Get the prize money first, then get out of this hellhole. Contestant number 19, Xiao Yan, now took the stage. He carried an acoustic guitar on his back. At least, he looked the part. The audience cheered loudly for him. Xiao Yan strummed his guitar and began to sing. Have I eaten too many ready-made meals? Or are bargain food combos just that delicious? Grilled meat over rice costs just 9.9 yuan. What reason do I have to say no? Wage slaves do not care if they are fat or thin. Meet the discount threshold, and I can still afford to. Bottles of cola. When the song ended, the crowd erupted in warm applause. The workers loved this down-to-earth song about their lives. Even passing delivery riders applauded again and again. But you dismissed it with disdain. Xiao Yan's vocal skills were decent enough, but only good enough for a place like this. If he truly entered the music industry, he would not even qualify as a beginner. At last, it was time for you. The finale act. You swaggered forward with an arrogant stride and coolly stepped onto the stage. The audience below looked completely baffled. Who is this guy? Why have we never seen him before? The corner of your mouth curled up. You sneered inwardly. You bunch of hicks. In a moment, I will show you what a true music king sounds like. You picked up the guitar beside you. The moment your fingers touched its strings, an electric current surged through your body. Every musical instinct in your body awakened. The audience stared in confusion. What is this guy doing? Why is he twitching before he has even sung? Is he trying to summon spirits? Xiao Yan frowned as well. He had won every singing contest lately. But your appearance today made him feel faintly uneasy. It was the pressure of facing someone stronger. As everyone waited expectantly, your fingers danced across the guitar. A melodious tune flowed outward like a tide. Then your voice rang out. I gaze up. Above the moon. Above the moon. How many dreams are flying free? The entire audience was dumbfounded. One person burst out laughing. Then everyone doubled over with laughter. Where did this clown come from? Other people charge money to sing. But your singing is deadly. Xiao Yan was drinking water and immediately sprayed it out. He thought you were an expert, but you turned out to be a total amateur. You stood on stage, completely stunned. That voice sounded like a monster's. Was it really coming from your own throat? Only then did you remember that the original owner's throat had been ruined by poison. Awkwardly, you waved at the crowd. Then you left the stage, shame written across your face. Your face burned. You wanted to crawl into a hole and disappear. The workers' laughter still rang in your ears. Xiao Yan whistled at you and mocked you with a sneer. Brother, that was not singing. It sounded like you were slaughtering a pig. The workers laughed even harder. You took a deep breath and forced yourself to calm down. Just then, Wang Peng walked over. Handing you a bottle of water, he said with a smile, "Brother Feng, have some water and take a breather." "Ignore them. I think you sang pretty well." Wang Peng was your roommate. He was timid, but fiercely loyal. You looked at him warmly. Taking the water, you drank it in huge gulps. Not far away, Su Yangxi stared at you in a daze. A sheen of tears glimmered in her eyes. On stage, following the host's announcement, the result came as no surprise. Xiao Yan won the championship. He strutted past you proudly, giving you a contemptuous glance. His provocation successfully enraged you. Over the days that followed, you trained diligently. You worked yourself to the bone hauling bricks by day, then practiced vocal exercises at night. Su Yangxi liked spending time with you and Wang Peng. She served food at the construction site cafeteria. She often secretly gave you both extra chicken drumsticks. Sometimes she brought you a bottle of blue drink. You had no idea what it was. It tasted a little salty, but after drinking it, your throat felt much better. After tireless effort, you relied on your heightened bodily awareness to develop a scientific, effective vocal training method. So as not to disturb your fellow workers' rest, you often sneaked out at 1 in the morning to practice. As a result, many workers getting up to use the bathroom at night often heard ghosts wailing and wolves howling in the distance. Before long, everyone said there were wolves at the site. The rumor spread far and wide. Even the foreman grew frightened. He brought over a dozen security guards to search the entire site, but they found nothing. Time flew by. In a blink of an eye, the Mid-Autumn Festival arrived. The construction site held another singing contest. This one was much bigger. Several nearby construction sites had organized it together. The prize money had risen to 100,000 yuan. Even professional singers entered. You signed up without hesitation. That evening, while eating in the cafeteria, Wang Peng asked you in shock, "Brother Feng, are you really entering tomorrow's contest?" You nodded. You looked completely confident. "I will not just compete. I will win the championship. Once we get the prize money, we will leave this place. Then we will start a company together, build it bigger and stronger step by step, and achieve greatness again." Su Yangxi was thrilled to hear that. She had long wanted to start a business. She just had never found the right opportunity. Wang Peng merely chuckled to himself nearby. He did not really believe you, but you were always making empty promises, so he was used to it by now. The next afternoon, you and Wang Peng arrived at the venue on time. Several thousand people had gathered before the stage. The atmosphere was electric. Once the contest began, after the host introduced them, the contestants took the stage one after another. This contest used online livestream voting. The competition was fierce. The contestants were clearly much stronger this time. Before long, it was Xiao Yan's turn. This guy was hugely popular. The crowd erupted before he even began singing. With a guitar on his back, he stood proudly on stage. As his fingers plucked the strings, his voice slowly rose. I can keep working to meet your performance targets. But only if you let me eat my fill. Even workhorses need feed, so pay us on time. Do not forget, now it is mandatory. Do not forget, social insurance is mandatory now. Do not forget, social insurance is mandatory now. I do not want your cost-cutting efficiency schemes anymore. If you cannot make it work, declare bankruptcy sooner rather than later. But you cannot run off with the money. Just shut it down. Just shut it down. When the song ended, the boss in the front row looked furious. He waved his secretary over. Then he leaned close and whispered something in her ear. The secretary nodded. A cold smile curled at her lips. Xiao Yan's vocal skills were actually average, but his song really spoke to ordinary workers. The workers all loved him. He ultimately received 8,000 votes, putting him temporarily in first place. Xiao Yan jumped with delight. He gave the crowd a wolf whistle, stirring up the audience. None of the following contestants surpassed him. That made him even more smug. As the contest continued, it was soon your turn to perform. With your guitar on your back, you slowly walked on stage. Many people in the crowd recognized you. They instantly doubled over laughing. Isn't that the pig squealing guy? He sounded so awful last time. And he has the nerve to get on stage again. Guys, get ready to cover your ears. This guy's singing could kill you. On stage, hearing the jeers below, You simply smiled, unconcerned. You wondered which song to sing. Just then, a ray of sunset pierced the clamor, washing over the crowd and spilling across the stage. The corner of your mouth lifted. Then I will sing Dusk. Let it end this damned life of hauling bricks. Your fingers danced across the guitar. A melodious tune flowed outward like a tide, clear and touched with faint sorrow. The crowd instantly fell silent. Even Xiao Yan froze for a moment. The song's opening was beautiful, but remembering your pig slaughtering voice, he could not help laughing again. This guy is definitely pretending to be an expert again. Among the crowd, Su Yangxi watched you quietly. She too eagerly awaited your performance tonight. 5 years have faded all your glory. Now, no one remembered you anymore. But she still remembered, because she was your most loyal fan. On stage, as the introduction built, your voice slowly began to rise. After the whole summer has passed, after the whole, the sadness has not eased at all. Driving down an endless highway. There is a feeling of leaving myself. It feels like I am leaving myself behind. Just for simple lines of lyrics, and the entire audience was stunned. Is this really the pig slaughtering singer from before? How can he sing so beautifully now? Your voice had not fully recovered yet. There was still a faint rasp in it, but it perfectly suited this song. The music reached its climax. You raised your voice and continued singing. I still remember you saying goodbye, resolute as iron. In the darkness, there is a blazing. In the darkness, it feels like the blazing sun is burning my skin. In the darkness, it feels like the blazing sun is burning my skin. Love. I still remember from your eyes. I still remember the tears falling from your eyes. I was heartbroken beyond words. In the chaos, there are burning tears. In the chaos, it feels like scalding tears are burning me. The horizon at dusk cuts off happiness. Joy, cutting off happiness. Joy, cutting off happiness. Our love had already. Su Yangxi watched the stage with tears in her eyes. Back when she had just entered the workforce, her supervisors and co-workers often pushed her aside. Your songs had carried her through the lowest point of her life. Later, you withdrew from show business entirely after the lip-syncing scandal. She thought she would never see you again, but she never imagined you would one day come to this construction site. On your first day here, she recognized you at a single glance. Xiao Yan stared at the stage in disbelief. He remembered that you could not sing at all. How had you improved so dramatically? He glanced at the crowd below. Everyone was lost in the song. Many were already weeping openly. Your singing continued. I still remember from your lips. In the darkness, there is a blazing. The illusion of sunlight scorching my body, the dusk horizon. The horizon at dusk draws out a farewell. Farewell, love enters eternal night. I still remember from your eyes. The falling tears. The falling tears wound my heart. The tears that fell left me heartbroken. In the chaos, there are burning tears. It feels like hot tears burn me. In the chaos, there are burning. The horizon at dusk cuts off happiness and joy. Love. Our love has already fallen apart. The song ended. The venue fell deathly silent. Seeing that, you began to panic. That cannot be right. This song was an absolute showstopper. Why was there not a single clap? Helplessly, you thanked them into the microphone. That was Dusk, for all of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Your voice snapped the audience out of their trance. Wang Peng shouted excitedly. That was amazing. The crowd immediately erupted into thunderous applause. The deafening sound seemed ready to split the sky. The livestream had already surpassed 100,000 viewers. The live comments exploded. Guys, this song is incredible. Are construction workers seriously this talented now? I am about to cry listening to this. Wait, why can I not find this song anywhere? Is it an original? On stage, you looked at the enthusiastic crowd. In that instant, you felt confident of victory again. The host came on stage to announce the results. Congratulations to Feng, with 88,000 votes. He is temporarily in first place. You straightened your chest. Then you swaggered off stage. You even threw Xiao Yan a flirtatious wink. Xiao Yan was completely crushed. He had considered that he might lose, but never imagined he would lose so badly. The contestants after that were all fairly average. Not one received more than 10,000 votes. Sitting beside you, Wang Peng was even more excited than you were. He had heard you make so many grand promises, and never thought they might actually come true one day. Just when you thought everything was settled, the final headlining contestant, Wu Fan, took the stage. The guy was seriously handsome. The moment he stepped on stage, the audience erupted in cheers. He performed an explosive rap song. As the music began, he sang and danced across the stage, looking effortlessly cool and at ease. I always cram at the last minute, cram at the last minute. This song. Why do I cram at the last minute for everything? The song ended. Warm applause broke out below the stage. Quite a few female audience members even began screaming. You furrowed your brow slightly, instantly sensing something was off. Wu Fan did not have the presence of an ordinary contestant. He seemed more like a professionally trained performer. Could some company be grooming a new star? And that was why they had organized today's singing contest. Wang Peng said enviously. The boss's son really is impressive. He is handsome too, and he sings well. He was born to be a star. You were utterly stunned. Wu Fan was actually the boss's son. Damn it, the whole thing had been rigged. The host came on stage to announce the results. Wu Fan ultimately received 95,000 votes, placing first. That makes Wu Fan the champion of this singing contest. You quickly checked your phone. There were only 50,000 people in the live stream. How did he get 95,000 votes? Damn it, this was blatantly rigged. At that moment, the boss, Wu Jingwo, beamed as he went on stage to present the award. You shook your head helplessly. No wonder he was a boss. He put up 100,000 yuan to hold the contest. Then his own son took home that 100,000 yuan. He did not spend a cent. And he still walked away with both fame and fortune. What a slick way to get something for nothing. That evening, you and Wang Peng found a roadside barbecue stall. After several bottles of Budweiser, your mood improved considerably. Feng, you do not have to take it so hard. I think you sang far better than Wu Fan. You nodded, then smiled helplessly. What good is singing well? I cannot compete with someone who has a powerful father. Wang Peng did not know how else to comfort you. All he could do was keep drinking with you. Just as you were drinking to your heart's content, Su Yangxi came running over with her backpack, breathless. I finally found you two. Why did you not invite me out for late-night food? Wang Peng muttered from the side, saying he had wanted to invite her, but you would not let him. Su Yangxi immediately got angry. Yi Feng, how many extra chicken drumsticks have I secretly given you? I cannot believe you are this stingy. You looked embarrassed after hearing that. You shot Wang Peng an annoyed look, then hurriedly explained. I bragged in front of you before, saying I would definitely win the championship. How could I face you after losing? Su Yangxi burst out laughing. Seeing how dejected you both looked, she dropped her backpack onto the table and said with an easy smile, it is only 100,000 yuan in prize money. You sang wonderfully today. I am giving you the 100,000 yuan. You and Wang Peng were both stunned. Su Yangxi was usually very frugal. She would not even buy herself a new outfit. What had gotten into her today? After talking it over, you learned that she had withdrawn all her savings, planning to start a business with you two. You were deeply moved. You made up your mind. You would make the company succeed with them. In the end, the three of you agreed at once. 3 migrant workers started a company. They named it Flybird Entertainment. That night, what you did not know was that your competition video shot to the top of the trending charts. Your song Dusk quickly went viral online as well. Netizens begged you to release a recorded version. The next morning, birds chirped softly outside the window. A noisy phone ringtone woke you up. Hello, Mr. Yi Feng. I am the director of Super Good Voice. We would like to invite you to compete. Would you be available? You were thrilled to hear this. You quickly replied, thank you, director. I can take part. Because Dusk had gone viral online. Good Voice had reached out to you. The appearance fee was only 50,000 yuan. But it was an excellent platform to promote yourself. After hanging up, you smiled at the birds outside your window. A bird really had brought good news. Looks like you had picked the right name. That morning, you went together to process your resignations. From afar, you saw Xiao Yan leaving Human Resources. He looked somewhat dejected. When he saw you coming, he was overcome with embarrassment. He actually hid beneath the truck. The three of you walked over to the truck, then crouched down and looked at him. Wang Peng asked curiously, "Buddy, what are you doing down there? Are you the under-the-truck god of war?" Xiao Yan's face turned bright red. He quickly crawled out from under the truck, then explained awkwardly, "Something fell under the truck. I went down to look for it." After talking with him, you learned that Xiao Yan had been fired by the company. It was because of the song he sang at yesterday's competition. He had offended the company boss. After saying that, he slapped himself. He said remorsefully, "I just cannot keep my mouth shut. I offend people wherever I go. Please do not hold what happened before against me. I did not mean any harm." Xiao Yan's words struck a chord with you. Most migrant workers lack social tact. They could lose their tempers at the slightest disagreement, but they usually did not mean much harm. If anything, they were genuine people. You took down Xiao Yan's number and told him not to leave Jiangcheng for now. You would arrange a job for him soon. Xiao Yan nodded, only half convinced. Carrying his belongings, he left the construction site dejectedly. That afternoon, you began moving. Wang Peng rented a small van. You had thought you did not own much, but the van ended up packed full. The silver van sped down the road, and your heart seemed to soar with it. The van stopped before a house beside a pond. You and Wang Peng looked surprised. Su Yangxi explained with a cheerful smile. "This place is called Moyu Building. It is very close to downtown, and the rent is incredibly cheap. Best of all, we can fish here for free. Because the pond belongs to the landlord too." Wang Peng was thrilled to hear that. He immediately ran over to inspect the pond. The guy had no other hobbies. He just loved fishing. You walked around the building. The scenery was beautiful. The commute downtown took only 10 minutes. The first floor could serve as a studio, while the second floor could be living quarters. It truly was a great place. After getting settled, you put Wang Peng in charge of renovating the space, and Su Yangxi in charge of registering the company. Time flew by. Before you knew it, Friday arrived. The first episode of Super Good Voice officially began filming. You and Su Yangxi arrived at the recording venue together. Unexpectedly, you ran into Wu Fan backstage. He was competing on Huaxia Good Voice too. You could not help smiling. What rotten luck. Enemies really do cross paths. This time, you would teach him a proper lesson. Wu Fan looked just as surprised to see you. Then he sneered mockingly. "Yi Feng, should you not be hauling bricks at the construction site today? What are you doing here?" The other contestants burst into laughter. Some even whispered, "Construction workers can compete on Super Good Voice too. Does the production team not screen people at all? There are no standards anymore." You merely smiled calmly. You had no desire to engage with them. On stage, skill does the talking. But Su Yangxi stepped in front of you protectively. She was not good at arguing. Even her voice sounded a little stiff. "Wu Fan, what are you doing here? Do not tell me you think this is a construction workers singing contest too. Did your father rig the championship for you already?" All the other contestants laughed at that. Wu Fan's face flushed crimson with rage. With a cold snort, he walked away. You noticed Su Yangxi's hands trembling slightly. She turned and told you with a smile, "Do not be afraid. I will protect you from now on." You nodded softly. An inexplicable warmth stirred in your heart. At 8 that evening, the competition officially began. The four mentors took the stage one after another. They were music diva Liu Ying, rock legend Chen Feng, pop king Zhou Binglin, and the nation's sweetheart, Shen Qingmeng. Thunderous applause rose from the audience. But you froze for a moment. Shen Qingmeng was actually a mentor on Good Voice. As the host introduced them, the contestants took turns performing on stage. Soon, it was your turn. Su Yangxi cheered you on like an eager fangirl. You strode briskly onto the stage. The audience was utterly silent. No one in the audience knew you. But that did not bother you. As the music began, the song details appeared on the big screen. The Window That Won't Close, performed by Yi Feng. Lyrics and music by Yi Feng. The audience began murmuring among themselves. Who is this guy? Could he be Yi Feng from 5 years ago? Was he not accused of lip-syncing? Why has he shown up again? Still, This intro actually sounds pretty good. Shen Qingmeng heard the audience murmuring too. Her brows drew together slightly, but she quickly dismissed the thought. It had to be a mistake. Yifeng's voice was ruined. How could he possibly be here singing? On stage, as the intro built, your voice slowly began to rise. I hear the cold wind scattering fallen leaves. In an alley long inhabited by loneliness and darkness, the alleyway. I hear loneliness quietly gnawing away. Night is a wound pierced by love, a wound pierced by love, pierced by love, a wound pierced by love. I am a locked heart's window, letting the cold wind come and go, unable to shut out the years of hardships that cannot be mended. When the wind comes, it stirs the sorrows of the past. When the wind comes, it stirs the sorrows of the past. When the wind comes, it stirs the past. When the wind comes, it stirs the sorrows of the past. Like an entire season. Like an entire season's tawdry revelry. Like an entire season's tawdry revelry. Let us start over. Let us start over, like a dream, like an illusion. With just a few simple lyrics, the audience was utterly stunned. It had been so long since they had heard a song that moved their souls so deeply. Your voice was clear, yet tinged with the weariness of time. On the surface, you sang of a window that would not close, but what it truly conveyed was longing that could not be contained. The song drew listeners deeply into its world. Many in the audience already had tears in their eyes. Shen Qingmeng let out a quiet breath. She knew Yifeng's voice very well, and this voice was clearly not Yifeng's. Yet your singing continued. A window. I am a window in a heart with its door locked. A window that lets the cold wind. Lets the cold wind come and go, unable to shut out the scars these years have left unhealed. Leaving behind a deeper desolation. Leaving behind a deeper desolation. When the wind comes, it stirs the sorrows of the past. When the wind comes, it stirs the sorrows of the past. Like an entire season's hollow revelry. Like an entire season's hollow revelry. Let us start over, like a dream, like an illusion. I hear rejection mocking the night again. I hear rejection mocking the night again. I hear rejection mocking the night again. The night. The night. Fly. The song was nearly over, but not one mentor had turned around. Just when you thought you were finished, there was a thud. Mentor Liu Ying was the first to hit her button. Then came 3 more thuds in quick succession. The other 3 mentors hit their buttons too. You had just earned the show's first 4-chair turn. The audience instantly erupted into thunderous applause. But Shen Qingmeng's brow was tightly furrowed. She could not believe the man before her was really you. But your voice had clearly been ruined. How could you still sing now? As Shen Qingmeng struggled to understand, Mentor Zhou Binglin was the first to ask. Yifeng, are you the singer Yifeng from 5 years ago? Why did you disappear for so long before coming back? In an instant, every audience member fixed their eyes on you. They all wanted to know if you were truly the same man. Even Shen Qingmeng watched you curiously. You nodded calmly. You were not the least bit nervous before the fermenters. With an easy smile, you said, "Hello, mentors. I am Yifeng from 5 years ago. For the past 5 years, I have been rebuilding myself." Your answer landed like a bombshell. Everyone was stunned. The live stream chat exploded as well. Guys, it really is Yifeng. Did they not say he lip-synced? How can he sing so well? I think he sang Dusk a few days ago too. It made me cry. As everyone kept talking, Shen Qingmeng crossed her legs and sneered. So it really is you, Yifeng. After all these years. Do not tell me you are lip-syncing again today. At those words, Everyone's expression turned grim. The other three mentors exchanged uneasy looks. After all, no one wanted to choose a contestant who lip-synced. Backstage, Su-Youngsi looked tense. She wanted badly to go on stage and fire back for you, but she knew she could not do that, facing everyone's doubts. You answered calmly, "Miss Shen, rest assured, I have never lip-synced. The truth will speak for itself. Some things will come to light eventually." Shen Qingmeng clenched her fist angrily, but the show was live, so she could not say much more. The atmosphere turned awkward. Finally, the host stepped in to regain control. The show moved into the mentor selection round. You had to choose the mentor you wanted. For you, choosing any of them would be the same. So you chose Liu Ying, the first mentor to turn for you. Liu Ying froze for a moment when she heard that, then burst out laughing. She gave you a warm welcome. After leaving the stage, you did not rush off. The next performer happened to be Wu Fan. You wanted to see how he would do. He strutted forward like he owned the place, and confidently stepped onto the stage. This guy seemed to love hot pot, so he specifically sang a song about it. As the music went on, he swayed from side to side and sang, "I get the hot pot, you get the soup base. Because I am polite. Yes, I am polite." His song was rather unconventional. No one understood what he was trying to convey, and the audience fell completely silent. The fermenters looked deeply uncomfortable as well. They could not understand why a singer at this level had even been selected for the show. Wu Fan's song was nearly over, yet not one mentor had turned around. Just when everyone thought he would be eliminated, there was a thud. Liu Ying slammed the button before her. The other three mentors looked utterly confused. They clearly could not understand Liu Ying's decision. In the end, it came as no surprise. Wu Fan joined Liu Ying's team as well. That put him on the same team as you. You could not help smiling. Enemies really do cross paths. In the next round, you would teach him a proper lesson. Back at Moyu building, Wang Peng was grilling fish beside the pond. A rich, mouth-watering aroma filled the air. You and Su-Youngsi were completely dumbfounded. How had this turned into a barbecue stand? Wang Peng grinned and said cheerfully, "This is all natural. We fish while we grill. We go out for barbecue all the time anyway, so we might as well grill it ourselves." That actually made a lot of sense to you. Wang Peng really was an excellent cook. You and Su-Youngsi were drooling from the smell. The three of you gathered around a table and went on another eating and drinking spree. The next day, you found a recording studio nearby. You re-recorded Dusk in the window that won't close. The recording engineer asked how you wanted accompaniment arranged. You checked the price list. Having the studio's professionals arrange the music would cost a fortune, so you decided to create the accompaniment yourself. The recording engineer was stunned. He had never met a client like this. But you were not bluffing. You had mastered guitar, piano, and drums alike. Your every move flowed with effortless precision. Everyone watching was astonished. Once the recording was finished, you paid and were about to leave, when a woman in sunglasses stopped you. "Hello, are you Mr. Yi Feng?" You paused in surprise, then politely nodded. "I am Yi Feng. What can I do for you?" After receiving your confirmation, she was delighted. She took off her sunglasses and shook your hand. She was Su Fei, a veteran pop diva. A few years earlier, she had returned to family life and gradually stepped away from the entertainment industry. She was divorced now and was preparing a comeback concert. She happened to need a major new song, so she wanted to hire you to write one. You readily agreed. You were still alone and lacked support and needed to build more connections. After exchanging contact information, you left first. When you returned to the entrance of Moyu building, you were completely stunned. Wang Peng was actually selling barbecue, and several tables were full of customers. You frowned, and your temper flared instantly. In your business plan, selling barbecue was never part of it. The moment Wang Peng saw you, he panicked a little. He quickly explained, "Brother Feng, so many people came over asking whether I sold barbecue. I figured business was this good, so why not just open a barbecue restaurant?" You were so angry you nearly passed out. You were a music king, for heaven's sake, yet you were leading them to sell barbecue. Does that make any sense? Wang Peng pulled you aside, then said with a secretive grin, "Brother Feng, do not look down on a barbecue stand. We have already made over 800 yuan in half a day." Your eyes lit up at that. Maybe this business was worth doing after all, and you already had a plan to take it to the next level. Back in your room, you uploaded the 2 finished songs to Qmao. Before long, more than 1,000 people had sampled the songs. The growth was still a little slow, but you could barely accept it. Once you had more fans, many things would become easier. That evening, you called Xiao Yan over. You signed him directly to Flying Bird Entertainment. From then on, he would sell barbecue alongside Wang Peng. Xiao Yan was dumbfounded. He asked indignantly, "Yi Feng, I came here to sing. How did I end up selling barbecue?" Su Yangxi and Wang Peng could not help laughing too. They did not understand what you were trying to do either. You looked at Xiao Yan and said with a smile, "Our stand will be called Flying Bird Music Barbecue. Wang Peng will handle the grilling, and you will handle the singing. You will live stream as well. Call it the Undercar God of War." Xiao Yan was even more confused. He asked with a baffled look, "Barbecue and live streaming? Can that really work?" You smiled calmly and told him with absolute certainty, "It will absolutely work. I am setting you a goal. Once your followers pass 100,000, the company will release your single. I will write the song for you myself." Xiao Yan was overjoyed. He had nearly been unable to survive in Jiangcheng, yet now he could actually become a singer. You told Wang Peng to hire the servers. He also had to livestream himself. In this information age, building a personal brand was crucial. Su Yangxi asked curiously, "Yi Feng, then what am I responsible for?" You smiled at her and said meaningfully, "You are the boss. Your job is just to count the money." Su Yangxi burst into laughter. She had only been an ordinary employee and had never imagined becoming a boss. The next morning, at Royal Entertainment's offices, Su Fei and her manager were discussing concert details when her phone suddenly received a message. Su Fei frowned slightly. Only one night had passed, and you had already written the song. She assumed you had carelessly thrown something together. Her manager said angrily from beside her, "Yi Feng has gone too far. He is doing this on purpose, right?" Su Fei shook her head helplessly. She was just a washed-up diva now. It was only natural for people to brush her off. Then she picked up her phone and opened the song demo you had recorded. Gentle, beautiful piano notes spread like a rising tide. Su Fei and her manager both shuddered in surprise. This melody was gorgeous. It was truly the work of a master. As the intro unfolded, your voice slowly began to rise. You are the distant road, a light amid the mountain mist. I am a child, I am a child, walking within your gaze. With just 4 simple lines, Su Fei was drawn into the song. She remembered her childhood. Her parents had wanted her to escape the countryside, so they worked tirelessly all their lives. In the end, she made it out, but her parents were buried in that countryside forever. As she listened, tears fell from her eyes. Your voice continued from the phone, and I will love the world you love. May your wishes come true. I stumble on holding your hand. Please, take me into tomorrow. If you once endured hardship for my sweetness, I would live to fulfill your wish. May it not be in vain. May we press onward. May it not be in vain. May we press onward through every day of this golden age. Her manager stood beside her, utterly transfixed. She had never expected such a high-quality song. Was this really written in just one day? As the song ended, both women were overwhelmed with excitement. With this song, Su Fei could absolutely return to the peak of her career. Over the next 3 days, Wang Peng and Xiao Yan gave the barbecue stand a complete overhaul. They even built a stage. Su Yangxi added many clever design touches too. The whole venue instantly gained a unique charm. And so, Flying Bird Music Barbecue opened with great fanfare. Business was booming. Time flew by. Before they knew it, Friday had arrived. Recording for the second episode of Super Voice began. Yu and Su Yangxi arrived at the studio early. This episode featured head-to-head battles within each team. Each mentor had 10 contestants. They competed in pairs. The loser was eliminated immediately. After the draw, you were matched against Wu Fan. Talk about fate bringing enemies together. Wu Fan stared at you with hatred in his eyes. He gave you a thumbs down. The corner of your mouth lifted in a faint smile. You ignored him. Where did this idiot get such confidence? Su Yangxi made you a nourishing throat-soothing drink. You took a sip, it tasted pretty good, but it was not as soothing as that blue liquid from before. So you asked whether she had any of that drink left. Su Yongxi froze. She answered, slightly flustered. That drink is not easy to get. If you like it, I can find a way. You did not know what that blue drink really was, but you could tell Su Yongxi sincerely cared about you. Since it was so hard to obtain, you did not want to trouble her further. So you smiled calmly and said, no need. That drink actually tastes awful. Your nourishing drink tastes better. Su Yongxi pursed her lips and nodded. Then she poured you some more. Meanwhile, on stage, as the host introduced them, the contestants took the stage one pair after another. Soon, it was your turn to face Wu Fan. The two of you walked onto the stage together. Wu Fan performed first. This time, he brought another explosive rap song. The guy was like a wild monkey, leaping and bouncing all over the stage. As the music reached its climax, he belted into the microphone. It's my fault for standing out and drawing trouble. It's my fault for standing out and drawing trouble. Standing tall. Standing out draws trouble. Standing out draws trouble. Standing out draws trouble. You frowned sharply at the side. You almost could not stop yourself from laughing. Every song this guy sang had the same melody. It was always either cramming at the last minute or standing tall and drawing trouble. There was not an ounce of originality. The audience below was lifeless as well. They could not understand Wu Fan at all. They had no idea what he was trying to say. When the song ended, Wu Fan shot you a malicious glance. A strange smile appeared on his face. Then it was your turn to perform. You did not give it much thought. You strode straight to center stage. As the music began, the song information appeared on the big screen. Blue and White Porcelain. Performed by Yi Feng. Written and composed by Yi Feng. Zhou Binglin was slightly taken aback. It was another original song. He was an original musician himself, so he deeply admired original artists. The audience began murmuring among themselves. They did not know whether you had lip-synced 5 years ago, but the two songs you had sung recently were both genuinely beautiful. As the intro built, your voice slowly rose. March pauses, and willow fluff drifts down. Lovers hurry by. Lovers. My love remains unmoved by the wind. Turning pages. Turning through yesterday, still warm. These dust-covered thoughts. After all these years, it feels like another lifetime. With countless regrets I cannot speak of. Startled, my heart suddenly tightens. I clutch the blue and white porcelain keepsake, faithful to my promise. Parting always. Parting always comes in moments of despair. Memory. Memory is like a wound rubbed raw again and again. Unable to heal. Unable to heal. A wound that will not heal. Your turning back cuts through the silence. Your voice was delicate, yet slightly husky. It was like blue and white porcelain, warm and fragile. It conveyed love's waiting, regret, and reluctance to let go. The audience's eyes had already turned red. The song was deeply immersive. Everyone was absorbed in it. In the control room, the director watched the livestream's viewer count soar. His face was full of confusion. Yi Feng was clearly just an obscure minor celebrity. How could he have so much support? Could he have paid to inflate his numbers? Meanwhile, on stage, your performance continued. Clutching the blue and white porcelain. Clutching the blue and white porcelain keepsake, faithful to my promise. Parting always comes in despair. Parting always comes in moments of despair. Parting always comes in moments of despair. Memory is like a wound rubbed raw again and again. Memory is like a wound rubbed raw again and again, unable to heal. Your turning back cuts. Your turning back cuts through the silence. Clutching tight. Clutching the blue and white porcelain token, carving out loneliness. Clutching the blue and white porcelain token, carving out loneliness. Just like my helpless soul. Entangled in the past, grieving for no reason. No one can take away the dream between us, a dream we cannot wake from. When the song ended, thunderous applause erupted from the audience. The deafening applause seemed ready to lift the roof off the venue. The fermenters were equally stunned. The song compared love to blue and white porcelain. It held the charm of Eastern aesthetics, and a love carved deep into the heart. It was already the caliber of a classic hit. Liu Ying frowned deeply. She had to choose between you and Wu Fan. Shen Qingmeng was the first to offer her opinion. She recommended choosing Wu Fan because he was an all-around singer and dancer. He fit this era's standards for an idol. Zhou Bingling grew anxious at once. He immediately gave his own opinion. If it were me, I would choose Feng. His songs resonate more deeply with people, and Feng's vocal skills are excellent. I believe his future is limitless. Liu Ying was caught in a dilemma. She turned a profound gaze toward mentor Chen Feng. Backstage, Su Yangxi grew nervous too. She truly could not understand it. Your performance had clearly crushed Wu fans. Why was mentor Liu Ying still hesitating? Was it for the show's drama? As everyone watched Chen Feng, he shrugged and said with a smile, "There's nothing to hesitate over. Of course, choose Feng. Whether it is vocal ability or song quality, Feng is clearly superior." The audience instantly burst into thunderous applause. Su Yangxi's anxious heart finally settled. Two mentors had recommended you. The outcome seemed beyond doubt. Yet Liu Ying's expression turned extremely grim. She deliberated for a long time. Still, she would not make a decision. You frowned slightly. A subtle smile flickered across Wu Fan's face. Clearly, this was not so simple. After hesitating for a long while, Liu Ying suddenly looked at you with grave seriousness. "I'm sorry, Feng. Your song is beautiful, but I prefer Wu Fan." The audience exploded in outrage. Mentors Zhou Binglin and Chen Feng were equally incredulous, but it was Liu Ying's own choice. They had no right to interfere. You gave a helpless smile, thinking, after all these years, is the entertainment industry still this corrupt? On the way home, Su Yangxi kept trying to comfort you. You gazed at the quiet street ahead. A sudden sense of disillusionment washed over you. The entertainment industry was far too complicated. Little people like you could hardly ever rise up. Even talent could be crushed by money and power. Su Yangxi was still bitter over the competition's unfairness. You suddenly pulled her into your arms. A faint, delicate fragrance clung to her. It instantly calmed your restless heart. Your actions startled Su Yangxi. Her fair, delicate face flushed scarlet at once. It was already 11 that night when you got home. The barbecue restaurant was packed. The customers could not praise Wang Peng's grilling enough. Meanwhile, on stage, Xiao Yan was singing with infectious passion. "I pray all my friends win the lottery jackpot in the year of the horse, and leave poverty behind forever." When you go out, even grocery runs, you drive. Even grocery runs, you drive a Ferrari. In your account balance. Your account balance is too huge to count. I wish all my friends. May all my friends' wishes come true in the year of the horse. May girls grow prettier and boys more handsome. 8 sons in one birth. 8 sons in one birth. Surely. 8 sons in one birth. That is sure to happen. Enthusiastic applause rang out below the stage. You realized Xiao Yan was completely in his element here. He knew exactly how to fire up the crowd. All the customers liked him. When Xiao Yan saw you had returned, he quickly urged the customers to egg you on. They called for you to sing on stage. With no choice, you went on stage and sang Dusk. The crowd answered with wave after wave of cheers. Xiao Yan took one look and saw his livestream viewers had surged from 1,000 to 10,000. He was beside himself with excitement. After returning to your room, you turn on your computer and check Qmao. Your 2 songs had reached 500,000 streams and 400,000 downloads. Streaming was free. Downloads cost 1 yuan. You split the revenue 50-50 with the platform. That meant the 2 songs had already earned 200,000 yuan, and those numbers were still climbing fast. You were in no rush. You could take it one step at a time. For now, though, there were no commercial gigs. So, you decided to try writing a novel. There had been so many classic masterpieces in your past life. Which one should you write? After thinking it over for a long time, you chose your favorite, Mysterious Revival. You wrote 50,000 words in one go. You uploaded the completed chapters to NGÓN Novel Network. After all, the genre was fairly niche. Whether it became a hit would depend on the market. The next day, You also recorded a new version of Blue and White Porcelain. Then you uploaded it to Qimao Music as well. Over the following days, you helped out by day, fishing and eating barbecue, and wrote your novel at night. It was a very fulfilling life. A week later, you and Su Yongxi were fishing by the pond when you suddenly got a call from the Strongest Singer production team. They invited you to join as a replacement singer. You were thrilled when you heard. You knew about Strongest Singer. It was probably the best music show in all of Huaxia. Every contestant was a top-tier superstar. Being invited to challenge them was already a major step up for you. Xiao Yan and Wang Peng were ecstatic when they found out. They quickly opened champagne to celebrate. For an ordinary person, getting on the Strongest Singer stage was the greatest honor of a lifetime. Friday soon arrived. You and Su Yongxi arrived backstage early. You happened to see Shen Qingmeng whispering with Chai Kun. There was clearly something intimate between them. You frowned deeply. In an instant, you understood everything. 5 years ago, you had taken a drink for Shen Qingmeng. The drink you had taken for her was the poison wine Chai Kun had sent. You never expected the two of them to be in it together. Shen Qingmeng's eyes shifted. She happened to spot you too. She demanded mockingly, Feng, what are you doing here? Do not tell me you came begging for my help. Looking at the woman who had ruined 5 years of your life, you wanted nothing more than to beat her senseless. Neither of them showed even a trace of remorse. They still acted so high and mighty. You had no intention of indulging them. You snapped at them. You two shameless scumbags. You really are made for each other. Who are you plotting to screw over this time? Shen Qingmeng was furious beyond words. In her memory, you had always been refined and elegant. She never expected you to become like this. So she said sarcastically, Feng, you are a celebrity, after all. How can you speak so crudely? You could not help laughing. You answered without a care. What kind of celebrity am I? At best, I am just some nobody. But being a nobody has its perks. I get to say whatever I want. Unlike you two, putting on an act every day, pretending to be so righteous. Shen Qingmeng exploded with rage. She wanted to keep arguing with you, but Chai Kun stopped her. He sneered mockingly. Feng, all you can do now is talk tough, right? If you really have what it takes, prove it on stage later. With that, he gave a cold laugh and left with Shen Qingmeng. You returned to your dressing room. Not long after, Su Yongxi came in carrying a restorative drink. Feng, I just saw Chai Kun. You glanced at her in surprise. Then you teased her deliberately. What is it? Do you like that effeminate pretty boy too? Su Yongxi pouted angrily. She immediately shook her head in denial. She said Chai Kun had asked for her contact information, but she had refused. You frowned slightly after hearing that. It seemed neither Shen Qingmeng nor Chai Kun was someone to be trifled with. You needed to come up with a plan. At 8 that night, all 500 media judges had taken their seats. Following the host introduction, the recording officially began. Chai Kun was the first performer. He took the stage and sang one of his signature songs. The young female fans below screamed wildly. Chai Kun was an exceptional dancer. Through relentless hard work, he had turned dancing into a martial art. He had even created his own Kun fist. Now, on stage, he swayed his body, singing loudly into the microphone. Only because you're so beautiful. Only because you're so beautiful, baby. Beautiful, baby. Only because you're so beautiful. Only because you're so beautiful, baby. Only because of you. Only because you're so beautiful, baby. It was a blend of electronic music and hip-hop. It was insanely catchy. Many audience members began dancing along. You frowned slightly at the sight. You could not make out a word he was singing. You could only vaguely hear something about a chicken being beautiful. You truly could not understand the audience's taste. When the song ended, the audience erupted in applause. After the host's announcement, Chai Kun received 456 votes. That was already an extremely high score. The second performer was Cheng Yuhua, the demon king of vocals. He sang the Huaxia classic, The Earth. It was a song filled with patriotic feeling. It held an esteemed place in Huaxia's music scene. You froze slightly when you saw the title. Was that not a Cantonese song? Did Cheng Yuhua speak Cantonese too? As the intro built, Cheng Yuhua raised his microphone and began to sing. Countless figures stand upon this land. Winding streams flow. Winding waters surge within my heart. Those anxious, uncertain years were the fate of the past. Hopes race toward the future. Behind them stands a group of simple young men. They walk lightly into the distance. I do not know when. I do not know what day we will meet again. I do not know when we will meet again. When the song ended, the audience erupted in thunderous applause. The host came on stage to announce the votes. Cheng Yuhua ultimately received 469 votes. He temporarily took first place. Chai Kung gave an angry snort. He was deeply dissatisfied with the result. His own song was clearly more popular. Netizens had worn out every pun based on it. How could it have received fewer votes? The third performer was Liu Ying. She was Huaxia's beloved pop queen. She was also one of the show's biggest stars. She had taken first place in 3 of the previous 5 episodes. Today, she sang a classic love song. Her performance was as steady as ever. The live audience loved it too. She ultimately received 479 votes. A smug look appeared on Liu Ying's face. Last episode, she had taken first with only 472 votes. With 479 today, she should take first again. The fourth performer was Shen Qingmeng. She was dressed very provocatively today. Her long, pale legs swayed across the stage. It left you dazzled. She performed a cover of the classic song, Li Tai Bai. I was meant to play support. Tonight, I am playing Jungle. A mere 30,000 days. So, what if I give it a try? What could possibly happen? It was originally a hit that used the past to satirize the present, yet she somehow gave it the air of a brothel ballad. The audience below kept shaking their heads. You stared at the stage, slightly lost in thought. Su Yangxi leaned closer and asked softly, Yi Feng. So, you like women with long legs? You swallowed. A nearly imperceptible flicker of panic crossed your eyes. You asked solemnly, Are you serious? I am analyzing the song, and you think I was staring at her legs? Su Yangxi gave a soft huff. She shook her head, unconvinced. As you two argued, the host stepped on stage to announce the votes. Su Yangxi ultimately received 438 votes. She ranked dead last. The other contestants backstage sighed at the sight. With that brothel-style delivery, they could hardly praise it. The fifth performer was Luge, the king of love songs. Since today was an elimination round, he stopped holding back. He brought out his trump card. As the music built, he raised the microphone and sang loudly. You always say it is my fault. But you are always so self-centered. Whenever we fight, you retreat into silence. How can we clear up our confusion that way? Wrong, wrong, wrong. It is my fault. Why didn't you say so when we were in love? Life's frustrations have left me so confused. Could you please stop nagging? You'd better stay quiet. It was an enormously popular sing-along song. The entire venue instantly became a mass sing-along. Its simple, direct melody stirred everyone's memories. As the song ended, the audience burst into applause. Luge ultimately received 483 votes. He temporarily took first place. Liu Ying's face darkened at once. In her eyes, Luge was just an underground singer. All his songs were tacky dance tracks. They were not fit for a real stage. And now she had actually lost to him. She found it impossible to accept. Meanwhile, in the control room, Director Zhang Tao watched the livestream viewer count climb nonstop. He nodded in satisfaction. The next singer was the real ace. He was confident the viewers would surpass 1 million. The sixth performer was the challenger. The host came on stage and explained. The challenger must defeat the first-place contestant to succeed in the challenge. The moment those words were spoken, the contestants backstage all relaxed. After all, Luge was in first today with 483 votes. That was the highest score of the season. It was almost impossible to surpass, as everyone discussed it. The challenger, Kwon Kyulang, stepped onto the stage. He was a Korean heartthrob, of all people. The guy was seriously handsome. Even Chai Kung could not hold a candle to him. His young female fans were already screaming below. You were unfamiliar with Kwon Kyulang, so you looked at Su Yangxi. Su Yangxi shook her head, saying she did not know him either. As the music began, The song information appeared on the big screen. Love of 1,000 Years. Performed by Kwang Qulong. Written and composed by Kwang Qulong. The audience immediately began murmuring. Is this guy really going to sing in Chinese? And it is even an original song. Listening to that intro, it sounds awfully familiar. You frowned slightly. You roughly understood what was happening. Kwang Qulong was really twisting the knife. On stage, as the music reached its climax, Kwang Qulong raised his pitch and sang out. Love, even unto death. If it is not all-consuming, it is not enough. Only this can show just how deep our love runs. Love, even unto death. Until tears turn into smiles, it is not enough. Until tears turn into smiles, it is not enough. Until tears turn into smiles, it is not enough. Even if the universe ends, my heart remains. Everyone watching the livestream was completely baffled. This was clearly a song by a Huaxia band. How could Kwang Qulong call it his original? Was he openly coming to Huaxia to steal our song? Many people began searching online, and what they found stunned them. This song, famous throughout Huaxia, had actually been written by Kwang Qulong. The Huaxia version was only a cover. The news struck like a bolt from the blue, breaking the hearts of countless viewers. The live comments exploded. Oh my god, this is one of my favorite songs. It is actually a cover of a Korean song. I am completely speechless. Are Huaxia singers just translation machines? Can they not create anything original themselves? As the viewers argued online, Kwang Qulong's performance came to an end. The host slowly walked onto the stage, ready to announce the votes. Everyone grew tense. If Kwang Qulong's challenge succeeded, then Shen Qingmeng in last place would be eliminated immediately. Su Yongxi nervously clenched her small hands. She did not particularly like Shen Qingmeng, but she wanted the Korean singer to win even less. Holding a card, the host announced loudly, "Congratulations to Kwang Qulong, with 489 votes. He temporarily takes first place." In an instant, every contestant was stunned. Shen Qingmeng looked especially incredulous. She had thought Luji's 483 votes could not be surpassed. She never expected Korea to be this strong. Hearing the result, Kwang Qulong jumped with joy. He made a heart gesture toward the audience, sending countless young female fans into wild screams. Su Yongxi asked in confusion, "The people voting are all from Huaxia. Why would they vote for a foreigner?" After thinking for a moment, you replied, "On stage, skill speaks for itself. Only when the media judges are fair and impartial can this competition be truly compelling." By then, the livestream had surpassed 1.5 million viewers. The live comments went completely wild. Guys, what is going on? Are we really going to let that Korean guy take the title? That would be ridiculous. Meanwhile, in the control room, Zhang Tao smiled meaningfully. Ratings were all he cared about. Who won the title was none of his damn concern. "Director, do you think Feng can win?" Music director Liu Chao asked with a grave expression. "Are you crazy? Feng is just a last-minute fill-in we found." If Superstar Gur had not been unavailable, who would have asked Feng? Liu Chao nodded slightly. He glanced at tonight's lineup, then sighed with some regret. He really loved your song, Dusk. If you had chosen to sing Dusk this episode, he thought you might have stood a chance. But you had to choose a new song. The outcome was no longer in doubt. Meanwhile, on stage, as the host introduced you, the final performer, quickly stepped onto the stage. The moment Shen Qingmeng saw you, she was utterly stunned. She could not believe her eyes. Who the hell is Feng? What right does he have to be on this show? Liu Ying was equally shocked. You were clearly just one of her students on The Voice, and you had already been eliminated. Yet now, you were actually competing alongside her. She simply could not accept it. The moment viewers saw it was you, they instantly erupted. Your 3 songs were dominating Qmao Music, all breaking into the top 10 new songs chart. Your appearance gave everyone hope again, just as everyone thought you would sing Dusk. The song information appeared on the big screen. Nocturne, performed by Feng, written and composed by Feng. The live comments instantly exploded. What the hell? What is Feng doing? I came to hear Dusk. What kind of garbage song is Nocturne? Is it a song for sleepwalking at night? Just as tens of millions of online viewers were about to start hurling insults, a melody suddenly split the night like lightning. That exquisitely beautiful intro began. Everyone was stunned. Could such magnificent notes truly belong to this world? The livestream comments fell completely still. The director thought the system had frozen and hurriedly told the technicians to check it. Music director Liu Chao stared at the stage in disbelief. He had not felt this way in years. One melody alone had set his blood racing. On stage, as the intro built, your voice slowly rose. I watch lonely scenery. Without you, love and hate become clear. Without you, what is left for me to care about? When doves no longer symbolize peace, I am finally reminded. The birds being fed in the square are vultures. I use beautiful rhymes. With only a few simple lyrics, the media judges below were completely astonished. It was actually a rap song. In their minds, most Huaxia rap was just people competing to be louder. But your rap flowed as smoothly as water. It was unbelievably good. Every note struck right at their hearts. Their bodies moved helplessly to the rhythm. Jiangcheng stared wide-eyed at the stage. She had never heard you sing this kind of song. This song was breathtaking. Shenqingmeng pouted, her face dark with frustration. Is this really the Yifeng I know? How has he become this terrifyingly good? Inside the control room, director Zhang Tao was dumbfounded. The livestream audience had not dropped at all. Instead, it had surged past 2 million. Where did this Feng come from? He was clearly just a temporary hire. How was he more popular than the Korean challenger? Your performance continued on stage. You pointed forward with your right hand, and the song instantly shifted into the chorus. I played Chopin's Nocturne for you. To commemorate my dead love, like the night wind, heartbreak sounds beautiful. I handle the longing I give you with care. Hands tap softly on the keys. The place where you lie buried is called the Netherworld. Waves of astonished cries erupted below. The young women in the audience were utterly captivated. They had never heard a song this beautiful. They had long forgotten whose fans they were. Meanwhile, at Flying Bird Music Barbecue, Wang Peng projected the competition onto the big screen. The customers erupted in cheers. They knew you were the owner of this barbecue restaurant. Every one of them cheered you on. Meanwhile, at Wang Xiao Music's office, Su Fei stared at her phone screen in shock. She frowned slightly and murmured to herself, that Yifeng really is a genius. He has actually created a style all his own. I need to stay in closer contact with him from now on. Your singing continued. I played Chopin's Nocturne for you. And for you, I hide my name. And for you, I hide my name and play beneath the moonlight. I can still feel your heartbeat. I miss the vivid red print of your lips. Viewers went completely wild. They had only come to watch an ordinary competition. They never expected to witness a historic moment. Backstage, Kwang Qulong stared at the stage in disbelief. He never imagined Huaxia had such an incredible singer-songwriter. For the first time, he began to feel nervous. The song came to an end. Thunderous applause erupted from the audience. The deafening roar seemed ready to pierce the sky. At that moment, the livestream comments exploded again. Oh my god, this song is unbelievably good. That song got me so fired up. This is what rap is supposed to sound like. Everyone, do not forget to vote for Yifeng. Once the host came on stage to restore order, the audience gradually quieted down. The host opened the card in his hand. He announced the results. The instant he saw the vote count, he froze. Congratulations to Mr. Yifeng. You received 491 votes, taking first place in tonight's competition. The audience instantly erupted in cheers. Every other contestant backstage was stunned. Liu Ying's face turned extremely grim. She had thought she would take first place, but she had somehow fallen to fourth. Since you took first place as the replacement singer, one more contestant had to be eliminated this episode. With the host announcement, Chai Kun, who ranked sixth, was also unceremoniously eliminated. He and Shen Qingmeng both looked at you. They clenched their teeth. Their eyes were full of resentment. Backstage, Su Yangxi's cheeks were slightly flushed. She was as excited as a child. She kept talking about how amazing the song was. You smiled helplessly. This is only the beginning. Through this competition, you became an overnight legend. At last, you had the power to protect those around you. After the competition, your Nocturne instantly shot to the top of the trending charts. It drew the attention of countless music companies. They wanted to contact you and sign you. When you returned home, Wang Peng had already prepared a feast. The table was packed with delicious food. It even had your favorite yellow braised chicken. The tempting aroma reached your nose, and your mouth instantly watered. You did not bother with politeness. You dug in with huge mouthfuls. Xiao Yan was unusually humble that day. He toasted you with 3 brimming glasses of liquor. Then he stammered, "Brother Feng, my livestream has already reached 100,000 followers. Did you not say before?" You instantly understood what he meant. This guy wanted you to write him a song. So, you pretended to be puzzled and asked, "How did you reach 100,000 so quickly? You did not buy followers, did you?" Xiao Yan immediately panicked. He raised a hand and swore on his life. Then he quickly explained, "A few days ago, you sang Dusk here. After that, my livestream followers started growing incredibly fast." Wang Peng chimed in beside him. "Yes, exactly. My livestream has grown too. I have over 80,000 followers now." You were a little shocked to hear that. At this rate, Flying Bird Music Barbecue would soon become a popular social media hotspot. So, you told Wang Peng to change the barbecue stand, renaming it Flying Bird Music Restaurant, double its size, and get every license and permit in order. You also had him hire professional chefs, and add entrees and staple dishes to the menu. Su Yangxi continued overseeing the launch of Flying Bird Entertainment. Renovations on the ground floor were nearly complete, 2 recording studios, and 6 livestream rooms. Next, it was time to scout talent. Finally, you gave Xiao Yan a meaningful look. "Did you not want a song? I will write one just for you. It will be called God of War Beneath the Car." Xiao Yan was ecstatic. He grabbed the Budweiser and chugged the whole bottle. After struggling at construction sites for so many years, he had finally made it. After eating and drinking their fill, you returned to your room and opened your computer. You found that Mysterious Revival was already gaining traction on the NGÓN TINH platform. Many readers were leaving comments on your account demanding updates. You shook your groggy head and kept writing. "If you had revived and awakened 60 years ago, perhaps I would not have been your match. But today, you still think you can challenge me. You truly do not know your limits." The next morning, you gave Xiao Yan the song you had written. You told him to practice it over the next few days and premiere it across all online platforms when the restaurant opens. Xiao Yan looked confused and asked, "Boss, I already have over 100,000 followers. Do I still need to sing at the restaurant?" You frowned slightly and replied seriously, "Being the restaurant's resident singer is your foundation. If you want lasting fame, you need to protect your foundation." Xiao Yan nodded, only half understanding. He did not understand all those grand principles. All he knew was that following you meant he would never go hungry. Over the next few days, while the restaurant was being renovated and expanded, you wrote your novel day and night. You finally brought Mysterious Revival to 1 million words. As the novel continued gaining popularity, the NGÓN TINH platform gave it a featured recommendation, making it explode in popularity even faster. Friday soon arrived again. The Strongest Singer semifinals officially began. You and Su Yangxi arrived at the recording venue. The atmosphere in the lounge was icy. You greeted everyone, but only Luge answered with a smile. Everyone else looked at you with frosty expressions, their eyes full of disdain. You did not pay it much mind. You were not one of them anyway. After exchanging a few pleasantries with Luge, you found a quiet corner and sat down, closing your eyes to rest. At 8 that evening, all 500 audience judges entered the venue. The competition officially began. The rules for this round were simple. Each contestant would sing one song. The top 3 would advance to the finals. Performance order would be determined by last round's ranking. The lowest ranked contestant would perform first, as the host took the stage to introduce the contestants. The first to perform was powerhouse vocalist Cheng Yuhua. He had come fully prepared this time. He had spent a fortune hiring an Indian music master to create a custom song for him. As the music built, Cheng Yuhua began bouncing around the stage. His swaying dance moves were utterly ridiculous, like a giant gorilla. "I am Tarzan from next door." "You are beautiful, Jenny. Take my hand and let us roam the world. Do not be afraid, my girl." The audience was completely stunned. The song was incredibly catchy. Its rhythm was simple and easy to sing along with. Cheng Yu's lively performance and hypnotic voice drove the entire crowd wild. A few older men were completely pumped up, howling along with him. Livestream viewers were dumbfounded too. The comment feed instantly came alive. Everyone, what is going on with Cheng Yuhua? Is Cheng Yuhua going to keep taking this wizard act further? Howling in the middle of the night nearly gave me a heart attack. I thought a monkey had gotten into my house. When the song ended, the audience erupted in thunderous applause. Cheng Yuhua stood on stage, brimming with confidence, and howled twice more at the crowd. As the host came on stage to announce the votes, he received 485 votes. That score was insanely high. The contestants backstage all drew sharp breaths. This guy had unleashed his ultimate move right away. Today's battle was going to be even fiercer. Liu Ying was the second to take the stage. She had finished fourth in the previous round. It had hit her hard. So this round, she brought out her trump card song. Daylight does not understand the darkness of night. This song was hugely popular and widely sung. In Huaxia, practically everyone, young and old, knew it. As the music swelled, she sang soulfully into the microphone. Day and night merely take turns. Day and night take turns, but never trade places. Unable to imagine the other. Unable to imagine each other's world. Still, we insist. Still, we each insist. Still, we each insist on waiting where we are. We stand apart as two. We stand into separate worlds. You will never understand. You will never understand my sorrow. Like daylight cannot understand night's darkness. Like the eternally burning sun cannot understand the moon's waxing and waning, you will never understand my sorrow. Like daylight cannot understand night's darkness, nor can it understand the stars, or why the stars fall from the sky. When the song ended, the audience erupted in thunderous applause. Liu Ying's performance was very steady, but because she was older, her physical stamina had declined somewhat, so the song lacked some passion. She ultimately received only 482 votes. In earlier rounds, that score would have been enough to win, but this was the semifinal. Even making the top three was now at risk. Liu Ying understood that as well. Her face was grim when she returned backstage. Luge was the third to perform. He was also a singer-songwriter. Unfortunately, people dismissed his songs as tacky, so he had never risen to stardom. Today, he brought out the signature song that made his name. As the music swelled, he sang soulfully into the microphone. A heart that's been hurt can still love whom? The ache of having no one to care for you. The love I gave you was buried. I cannot bear to let go this way. Who can a wounded heart still love? Number 1 to keep me company. No one to keep me company. Your love is gone. Without your love, I am completely empty. Love truly leaves one so. Love truly leaves one helpless, so helpless. This song carried the memories of a generation. Many audience members had tears in their eyes. There are no tacky songs in this world. Only people who think they are above everyone else. When the song ended, the audience erupted in thunderous applause. Su Yangxi clapped excitedly again and again. The other contestants all shot her a glance, their eyes filled with contempt. As the host took the stage to announce the votes, Luge ultimately received 476 votes. For now, he was in last place. You froze slightly at the result. Luge's performance today had been nearly flawless. You simply could not understand the judges' voting standards. Were songs ordinary people enjoyed automatically tacky? The fourth performer was Korean heartthrob Kwon Kyulong. He strode confidently onto the stage. He made a heart gesture toward the audience. The young female fans in the front row instantly began screaming. Meanwhile, in the control room, the livestream had surpassed 3 million viewers. The director danced with joy. Music director Liu Chao watched the stage with a slight frown. Last round's Love of 1,000 Years had dealt a massive blow to Huaxia's music scene. Many netizens discovered that songs they had loved for years were actually covers of Korean songs, and they could not accept it. As a result, many celebrity singers lost huge numbers of fans. And today, Kwon Kyulong was using the same trick again. It would deal a devastating blow to Huaxia's music scene. But the director said indifferently, "Have you considered this? If we do not expose this ugly truth, Huaxia's music scene will never have a future. Nothing new can rise until the old is torn down. For all we know, I might be saving Huaxia's music scene." Liu Chao silently lowered his head. He dared not imagine what the music scene would become after today. Meanwhile, on stage, as the music began, the song information appeared on the big screen. Love Song, performed by Kwon Kyulong. Lyrics and music by Kwon Kyulong. The audience immediately broke into discussion. My God, this song is a cover too. What on earth are Huaxia's singers doing? Can they only copy and translate songs? Making money in this industry is way too easy. The internet erupted as well. The comment feed was filled with condemnations of Huaxia's singers. Su Youngsi was stunned when she saw it. She said she had loved this song before too. She had always thought it was an original. She never expected it to be a cover as well. Meanwhile, on stage, as the intro built, Kwon Kyulong's voice slowly rose. You still choose to return. He wounds your heart. Yet you refuse to wake up. You say love has always been a dream. The happiness I borrowed from you, I can only return. Wanting to stay, but being unable to is the loneliest pain. Unspoken tenderness leaves only a farewell song. 1 second before our hearts break, we hold each other tight in silence. With my heartbeat, I send you this bittersweet farewell song. When the song ended, the audience erupted in thunderous applause. The deafening roar seemed ready to pierce the sky. Backstage, all the contestants grew tense. Kwon Kyulong's score would determine who was eliminated. As the host came on stage to announce the result, Kwon Kyulong ultimately received 495 votes. He was temporarily in first place. A wave of gasps swept through the audience. That score was unprecedented. It looked like he had first place locked down today. Upon hearing the result, Kwon Kyulong happily swayed his body, then made another heart gesture at the audience. The crowd answered with waves of screams. At the same time, the live stream was filled with wails of despair. Strongest Singer had been running for 8 years, and today's 495 votes were its highest score ever. Netizens flooded the show team with complaints. Why invite such an unbeatable monster here? Director Zhang Tao laughed heartily at the screen. The livestream had now surpassed 4 million viewers. It had already broken the show's viewership record. He did not care what the netizens said. Backstage, you frowned slightly at your phone. Zhang Xiaomeng, your assigned editor at NGÓN, had called you more than 20 times. Since you had put your phone on silent, you had missed every call. You were just about to call her back when she happened to call again. After you answered, her urgent voice came through the phone. Mr. Feng now. You finally answered. Your novel has completely blown up on the platform. It has reached #1 on the trending chart. Please update it quickly. Millions of readers are online waiting for you. You smiled faintly after hearing that. Mysterious Revival truly was the pinnacle of supernatural fiction. No wonder it was equally popular on every planet. You told Zhang Xiaomeng that you had work to do, so you could not guarantee daily updates. Zhang Xiaomeng was utterly stunned. She asked excitedly, "Come on, man. Your novel has already gone mainstream. What job could possibly be more important than this? Quit your job already. Go home and focus on writing novels." You looked utterly helpless. Being a writer was exhausting too, with people demanding updates every day. But you truly had no time right now. So, you could only firmly refuse her. I am terribly sorry, but I really do have work to handle. I will hang up now. Meanwhile, at the Terminus platform offices, Zhang Xiaomeng stared at her phone, gritting her teeth in fury. He actually hung up on me. Is Fei now some kind of stupid bird? How can he fail to seize such a golden opportunity? He should go home and write novels properly. He could easily earn $1 million a year. What job could compare to that? But Mysterious Revival was simply too popular now. Millions of readers were online demanding updates. The platform's servers were close to crashing. She could only keep calling you. Meanwhile, at the show, you were the final contestant. When the host called your name, you slowly walked onto the stage. Everyone was nervous for you. For 195 votes, it was nearly an insurmountable score. Facing such a powerful opponent, even you were not confident. You could only bring out your signature song. As the music began, the song information appeared on the big screen. Who Understands a Wanderer's Heart? Performed by Feng. Lyrics and music by Feng. Netizens immediately erupted into discussion. Guys, what is Feng doing? He is performing another new song. Why not just sing Dusk? Could this guy be scared of losing and deliberately throwing the match? Meanwhile, on stage, as the intro built, your voice slowly rose. If I could smile, I would not cry. Could I find a kindred soul? If I found a kindred soul, how could I be lonely? Yet I have never found one. How can the hardships marked by my footprints could ever come to an end? With just for simple lines of lyrics, the entire audience was stunned. What soul-deep pain had you endured to write a song that tore so painfully at the heart? Suyangxi's eyes reddened slightly. She knew this song was about you. For the past 5 years, you had drifted from place to place. Your heart had been completely shattered. So you chose to live as a wandering prodigal. Your singing continued. You say loving me means capturing me. I truly cannot bear this kind of love. Tonight, I drift alone once more. Please do not persist in your devotion. Please take back all your faith in me. They say love that is too ideal. But why should I care? Why should I care if I cross 1,000 mountains? Yet I would cross 1,000 mountains to find a way to hold on to it. Once again, I find myself on a lonely road. Meanwhile, in the control room, music director Liu Chao asked excitedly, "Director, do you think Feng can surpass 495 votes?" Zhang Tao frowned slightly at the screen. He gave a cold laugh and replied, "I admit that Feng is very talented, but he is still far behind Quan Qulong. 495 votes are not so easily earned." Liu Chao shook his head in disagreement. He had a feeling you would create another miracle. Meanwhile, inside a luxurious villa, Zhou Binglin looked at his phone, visibly moved. Your song gave voice to lonely men's hearts. It struck a deep chord with him. He often grieved alone in the dead of night. In an instant, inspiration struck. Life is simply too exhausting for men. A lovely woman should be there by their side. So he decided to write a new song at once. He would call it Lovely Woman. Meanwhile, on stage, your performance continued. I hear overly ideal love always. They say perfect love is always out of reach. But I will cross 1,000 mountains to capture it. I hear overly ideal. They say anything to perfect is always out of reach. Happiness. The song ended. Thunderous applause erupted from the audience. It was deafening, as if it would lift the roof off the venue. Even the director was momentarily stunned. The livestream had now surpassed 5 million viewers. The live comments had completely exploded. Guys, this song is incredible. It made me cry. Feng can actually sing in Cantonese. I cannot understand the words, but my heart really hurts. The host had already stepped onto the stage. Everyone's eyes were fixed on him. He opened the card and announced the result. The moment he saw the vote count, his pupils instantly widened. He could hardly believe his eyes. Congratulations, Mr. Feng. You received 499 votes. You rank first in this round. Suyangxi leaped up in delight. She had only prayed that you would make the top 3. She never expected such a high score. The other four contestants all rose to their feet. They stared at the stage in disbelief. He was just one vote short of a perfect score. Feng is terrifying. Meanwhile, in the control room, Director Zhang Tao shouted, "Impossible." He could not believe anyone could get 499 votes. He ordered the technicians to verify the data. Their reply was that the data was correct. One audience member had gone to the restroom, so only 499 people had voted. The director was completely dumbfounded. Is Feng even human? Liu Chao clapped excitedly. He had become a devoted fan. He had paid to download every one of your songs. The venue was starting to lose control. Every audience member stood up. They screamed your name wildly. It felt like your personal concert. The director began to panic. If a stampede happened, they would be finished. He told the host to end the competition immediately. The final results came as no surprise. Liu Ying and Luge were eliminated in the semifinals. Quang Qulong, Cheng Yuhua, and Yu advanced to the finals. After the competition, Who Understands a Wanderer's Heart shot to #1 on the trending chart. Entertainment companies flooded you with calls. They wanted to sign you, but you turned down every offer. You had decided to start your own company. That way, you could retain more control. That night, when you got home, Wang Peng and Xiao Yan prepared another celebration feast. The four of you ate and drank to your heart's content. Wang Peng said Now Music Restaurant was fully prepared. It could officially open for business tomorrow. You turned to Xiao Yan. You asked whether his song was ready. Xiao Yan patted his chest and said with a grin, "It has been ready for ages. This is the song I was born to sing. There will be absolutely no problem." You nodded. Seeing everyone doing better and better made you truly happy. When you returned to your room that night, your phone gave you a headache. Zhang Xiaomeng had called more than 200 times. Fame really does bring trouble. There was no other choice. You could only open your computer and keep writing. You would need to build up a backlog from now on. At noon the next day, Now Music Restaurant celebrated its grand opening. Many regular customers came to show their support. Even the diva Sufei sent someone with a flower basket. Before long, the restaurant was packed with customers. Everyone was eagerly awaiting the restaurant's musical performance. Xiao Yan took the stage, looking slightly nervous. He started by telling a few jokes, making the customers burst into laughter. Only then did he begin singing his new song. This guy was usually playful whenever he sang. Seeing him suddenly sing with such seriousness felt strange to you instead. As the music built, the song quickly reached its climax. Holding the microphone, Xiao Yan sang with deep feeling. "I should be beneath the car, not inside it. Then I could see how sweet you are together. That way, it would be easier for me to let go. Give me the courage to leave." He must love you deeply, and he has also outdone me. It only took 1 minute to break up. He must love you more than I do, and know how to please you. He would not be like me, so childish, making things hard for you. The song was exceptionally beautiful, paired with Xiao Yan's slightly husky voice. It drew many customers completely into the song. You glanced at the live stream. The viewer count had surprisingly surpassed 100,000. This guy was about to become famous. The live comments were buzzing too. "Guys, the song is good, sure, but I do not understand something. Why does he have to be under the car? Is that not obvious? He is the god beneath the car. Where else would the god beneath the car be?" The restaurant's opening was a huge success. It remained packed every day afterward. Gradually, it truly became an internet-famous restaurant. Some people even came just to see the god beneath the car. The lines became enormous every day. That seriously hurt the customer experience. You had Su Yangxi hire someone to develop an online reservation system. It was limited to 200 tables per day. That way, guests could simply arrive at their reserved time. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, Friday arrived. The strongest singer finale was about to begin. The director moved the event to Jiangcheng Sports Arena. The stadium could hold 50,000 spectators. You and Su Yangxi arrived backstage early. Since it was the finale, everyone looked solemn. At 8 that evening, all the audience members had taken their seats. The 50,000-seat stadium was completely full. The host took the stage to announce the rules. The finale would be decided through online voting. Whoever received the most votes would be the overall champion. Cheng Yuhua and Quan Qulong both smiled when they heard that. They were both top-tier superstars, with enormous fan bases. You, on the other hand, were a newcomer who had debuted only 2 months ago. How could you compete with their popularity? Following the host introduction, the first performer was Cheng Yuhua, the Demon King of vocalist. He strutted onto the stage with an arrogant look. He was determined to win today's championship. His company had already arranged everything. 10 promotional teams were standing by. But when he saw the bustling crowd of 50,000 before him, he suddenly became nervous. The spectacle was overwhelming. He felt so small, as though the crowd would swallow him whole. As the music began, his heart pounded faster and faster. By the end, even his pitch began to slip. Inside the control room, Director Zhang Tao stared at the screen in astonishment. He said angrily, "What on earth is Cheng Yuhua singing?" He chokes at the critical moment. There are over 5 million people watching the livestream right now. If he causes a performance disaster, sue him and make him pay. Cheng Yuhua was drenched in sweat. As the music reached its climax, he gripped the microphone and sang loudly, I pray to have a crystal clear. I pray to have a crystal clear heart. And eyes that can shed tears. And eyes that can shed tears. Give me the courage to believe again. To cross the lies and embrace you. The online viewers were completely stunned. Is this really the Demon King of vocalists? Singing Live really exposes the truth. It reveals who can truly sing and who cannot. When the song ended, only scattered applause rose from the audience. Cheng Yuhua's heart sank at once. His performance was awful, yet his votes were soaring. When the host came on stage to announce the result, he ended up with 4.36 million votes. The director was dumbfounded. The livestream has 5 million viewers in total. This guy sang terribly, yet he got 4.36 million votes. Do they take the viewers for fools? Liu Chao reminded the director. Cheng Yuhua is an artist under Tianyu Media. Our show is also sponsored by Tianyu Media. This may be difficult to handle. The director's expression turned grave. He said coldly, let's see the remaining performances first. The second performer was Quan Qulong. He was already an international superstar. After building momentum in the first 2 rounds, his popularity had become terrifying. Even the biggest male and female stars had to yield to him. He walked onto the stage brimming with confidence. As the music began, he launched into the horse riding dance. The catchy music, paired with the simple dance moves, instantly had many audience members dancing along. The livestream had now surpassed 8 million viewers, breaking the viewership record again. The director was so thrilled that he danced with joy. As the music reached its climax, Quan Qulong sang loudly while doing the horse riding dance. When the song ended, the audience erupted into thunderous applause. It had to be said, Quan Qulong had delivered the best stage performance so far. His vocal technique was incredibly solid too. He ultimately received 7.56 million votes. That level of dominance was beyond anyone's reach. Liu Chao's face turned ashen. That vote count was far too high. Was the strongest singer crown really going to be taken by a Korean? You drew a sharp breath as well. This guy truly was an international superstar. His ability was downright terrifying. The host had already called your name. There was no time to think. You slowly walked onto the stage. The audience instantly erupted. They shouted your name at the top of their lungs. You stood calmly at center stage, looking at the sea of people before you. You remembered the glory of your previous life. It felt both familiar and far away. You gently raised your index finger to your lips, signaling for silence. Cheng Yuhua sneered when he saw it. Is he Feng out of his mind? Does he think this is his own concert? But in the next second, his smile vanished completely, because the 50,000 people in the venue fell silent in an instant. That level of coordination was beyond even the greatest stars. The director was stunned by the sight as well. He had worked in the industry for decades, but had never seen anyone command a crowd like this. But it was all futile, because he saw that the livestream audience had fallen to 6 million. Even if every one of them voted for you, you still could not surpass Quan Qulong. At that moment, the music began. The song information appeared on the big screen. Boundless Oceans, Vast Skies. Performed by Feng. Written and composed by Feng. The online viewers instantly went wild. Guys, it's another original song. We have to believe in Feng. Let's go. On stage. As the intro built, your voice slowly rose. Tonight, in the cold night, I watched the snow drift by. With a heart gone cold, I drift far away. I chase on through wind and rain. In the mist, I cannot make out a single silhouette. Beneath the boundless sky and sea, could you and I ever change? Who has not changed? Just for simple lines of lyrics. Yet the audience was utterly stunned. It was another Cantonese song, and it sounded incredible. Meanwhile, at Fei Now Music Restaurant, the competition livestream played on the large screen. All the customers were cheering you on. Xiao Yan and Wang Peng exchanged a look. This song is going to be huge. So they opened the livestream too, and started calling in more viewers for you. Your singing continued. Forgive me for living wild and free, loving freedom all my life. Yet I still fear that one day I may fall. To betray my dreams. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Why should I fear? That one day, you and I. That one day, only you and I remain. With your sincere, rich voice, you sang of an unwavering pursuit of freedom. Everyone faces setbacks and dark times, but we cannot abandon our dreams. Even alone, we must hold on to the very end. At that moment, in humble migrant workers' dormitories, on crowded buses, and in late-night security booths, countless ordinary people were watching your live stream. Your voice was filled with defiance and determination. Their eyes brimmed with tears. Bodies once weighed down by life slowly began to straighten. A refusal to surrender blazed anew in their hearts. That was the power of music. A great song can inspire the human spirit. Your singing continued. Forgive me for this. Forgive me for living wild and free, loving freedom all my life. Yet I still fear that one day, I may fall, I may fall, I may fall. To betray my dreams. Anyone can betray their dreams. Why fear the day when only you and I remain? The director stared at the screen in disbelief. As online viewers spread the word and brought in more people, the livestream audience surged at breakneck speed. It instantly surpassed 20 million. That was already the platform's limit. Even the video began to lag. The platform's technical team hurriedly expanded the servers, barely keeping the livestream running smoothly. When the song ended, thunderous applause erupted from the audience. The deafening applause seemed to split the sky. Kwang Qulong watched the glass of water tremble slightly on the table. Suddenly, he felt a little afraid. He had never seen a crowd this frenzied. Cheng Yuhua was equally incredulous. You're clearly just a rookie who debuted not long ago. How can you have such enormous influence? The host had already returned to the stage, facing the wild cries of 50,000 people. Even he felt a little rattled. After opening the card, he loudly announced, "Congratulations, Mr. Feng. You received 16.88 million votes. You are the overall champion of Strongest Singer." Su Yangxi jumped up in delight. She had dreamed of this moment countless times. At last, you had returned to the top. Meanwhile, inside a compound in Myanmar, Chai Kun and Shen Qingmeng watched the television with tears streaming down their faces. They never imagined you would win the championship, nor did they imagine watching it under such circumstances. They had only come here for a vacation. Who knew their agent would deceive them? He said they would film a short drama at the compound, but once they entered, they could never leave. After the competition ended, you had just returned backstage, when your throat began to feel terribly uncomfortable. You even coughed up bloody phlegm. Terrified, Su Yangxi hurriedly brought you a tonic drink to soothe your throat. Her tears were on the verge of falling. You looked at her and smiled faintly. "Don't worry, I'm fine. I probably just strained my throat too much. A couple days of rest will fix it." That evening, when you returned home, Wang Peng had prepared another victory banquet. That guy loved a lively celebration. Since your throat still hurt, you chatted briefly before returning to your room. You opened your computer and continued writing. Mysterious Revival had already reached 1.5 million words. The novel had caused a massive sensation in literary circles. Even many celebrities were demanding more chapters. In one go, you wrote another 50,000 words. By then, it was already 1 in the morning. You opened your door to get some water. As you passed Su Yangxi's room, you saw a green glow spilling out from inside. Your heart skipped a beat. You had just finished writing a supernatural novel. Could something supernatural really happen so soon? You peered inside through the window. A virtual sphere floated in the room. Su Yangxi stood before it, operating something. Could Su Yangxi be an alien? You were so frightened that you barely dared breathe. Just as you prepared to slip away, a voice sounded from inside the room. Congratulations, host. Miracle medicine purchased successfully. 1 year of lifespan has been consumed. Remaining lifespan, 30 years. Then, a bottle of blue liquid appeared in the sphere. It was the same blue drink you had drunk before. You froze. In an instant, you understood so much. This had to be the system bound to Su Yangxi. She had actually traded her lifespan for medicine for you. You feared you could never repay such a debt. The next morning, you received a call from director Zhang Tao. He said the Global Song Championship would take place in 1 month. Each country would send 3 singers to compete. He asked whether you wanted to join. After considering it for a moment, you agreed. After all, revitalizing Huaxia was your responsibility, too. After the call ended, Su Yangxi came in carrying a bottle of blue drink, just as expected. Feng, I worked so hard to get this. Drink it quickly. You picked up the drink and drained it in 1 gulp. Your throat instantly felt much better. Looking at the innocent girl before you, you gently wrapped an arm around her slender waist. With aching tenderness, you told her, "This drink tastes awful. Do not buy it again. I do not want to end up with an old lady while I am still young." Su Yangxi paused in surprise. Then she burst into laughter. She pretended not to understand what you meant. Over the following days, Now Entertainment grew rapidly. It recruited 6 new trainees. They all had strong vocals and excellent musical instincts. You had them livestream first to build a fan base, then planned to create custom albums for them. 1 month later, you handed Now Music Restaurant entirely over to Wang Peng. You flew to Jingdu with Su Yangxi, ready for the Global Song Championship.